The last few months, I've been talking about a relationship that ended about a year ago. He was someone that was a part of my life for over 12 years in some capacity. And the relationship ended. He basically broke my heart, left me shattered, or what felt like shattered at the time. But today I want to talk to you about a different relationship. And it's a relationship that's actually been with me for way longer than that one. And I'm sure that it's one that you're going to be able to relate with. And that relationship is the one that I have with my chatterbox. Some people call it your inner critic. I've heard others call it the narrator. I've even heard some call it the terrorist. But for me, the term chatterbox has always worked best for me. And it's that little voice inside that is always talking to me. It's convincing me that there's danger ahead, basically. In a lot of ways, I've considered this voice my enemy, feeling like it's the voice that causes anxiety or makes me think that everything's going to end in failure. But really, recently, I've really started to identify a different way of looking at it. And, like in your group of friends, like you have that one friend that sees the downside to everything. Now, they're not trying to hurt you, your friend. They're just trying to say, hey, maybe we shouldn't do this because you got to think about the fact that this could happen or that could happen. And so they're always like bringing the whole energy down, but it's not because they're trying to be cruel. They're actually trying to protect you. And that is what is happening with whatever you call it, your chatterbox, your inner critic. Terrorist, I feel, is like a really strong word because terrorist is someone who's trying to scare you for the sake of just scaring you. And that's not what your inner voice is for. Your inner voice is actually trying to protect you. Your inner voice is saying, well, you remember the last time you tried that and it failed. I don't want that to happen to you again. I don't want you to have to go through the embarrassment or the hurt or the whatever. So it's looking at the negative things that could happen, but not because they don't care, but because they're trying to protect you. So I recently have given my chatterbox a name, and her name is Nancy. Nancy, not because of I have any negative associations with any Nancys in my life, but because of the simple term negative Nancy, because that's what my chatterbox does. My chatterbox is there to point out all of the things that could go wrong, all of the things that might happen. So the reason that this is important is because I have started having conversations with Nancy. When Nancy starts pointing out the things that could happen, I just say, Nancy, I appreciate you looking out for me. I appreciate that you're trying to protect me. But you know what? We're doing things a little different lately. When she tries to talk me out of something, I just say, Nancy, we're going to do this anyway. We're going to finish this walk. We're going to eat these kinds of foods. We're going to do this. Nancy, this is what's going to happen. But I thank her. The other day, I was driving to one of our plants for the company that I work for, and it's like an hour away. So in the drive there was a lot of traffic, and it was raining, and so I started feeling a little bit of anxiety welling up in me, and I know that that's Nancy. That's Nancy reminding me, hey, stay aware, things could go wrong. And so I just said to Nancy, I said, thank you, Nancy, for looking out for me and for making me aware of what's going on and the weather and the things that could go wrong. But you know what? We're going to change the scenario today. And so I just told Nancy, we're going to have a good day. We are going to make this drive. Everything's going to be fine. And if something does go wrong, we're going to handle it when it happens. We're not going to start freaking out about it before it happens. But again, thank you, Nancy, for looking out for me and trying to make sure that only good things happen, but we're changing the story. The reason I tell you that is you can give your chatterbox, your inner critic, whatever name that feels right for you. Give it a name and talk to that person. Thank it for having your best in mind. Thank it for trying to look out for you. but you're going to do things differently, that you're going to move forward anyway, that you appreciate that it's reminding you, she is reminding you of the last time you failed or the last time it didn't work, and you appreciate him, her trying to protect you. But you know what? We're going to do things a little differently now. Kindly thank the inner voice, as I kindly thank Nancy for her best intentions. But then I just say, we're doing it anyway. We're doing it even though we're scared. We're doing it even though things might not work out. We're doing it even if we get embarrassed about something. We're doing it even if we do fail. We're whatever. You can do that. And it is amazing how quickly the voice, your negative Nancy, your inner critic, your whoever, decides to just be quiet because you have taken control of the situation. You've thanked it for its input and you've put it aside and you've decided to move forward anyway. It's amazing the power that is in that. And I'm not saying throw it away, just like we wouldn't throw away our friends, even though that one friend is bringing down the vibe. We would just lift that friend up and thank that friend, but we wouldn't throw it away, because your inner critic, your negative Nancy, your whoever is there for your benefit. And there are times that you probably should be a little afraid of something. So it is your body doing its job, but we just have to decide what situations we're going to take control of and not let him or her talk us out of whatever it is that we need to do. So this is just my reminder to give your inner critic, your chatterbox, your narrator, give it a name and talk to it just like it's someone next to you. Thank it for its input and its care, and then kindly ask it to step aside and move forward anyway. It's a great way to take control of the narrative, the things that you tell yourself. So I hope that you guys will give that a shot, and I love you, and I will talk to you next time.